Welcome to the Space Bro Show, everybody. The Halloween episode.
Boo.
There you are. So we got from opposite direction, from the right to left, we have Bacon Waffle in his ever-loving breakfast disguise.
Hello.
we got Val the Mighty Viking. And Zelst, I believe, is AFK, but in his always ambient marshmallow eating fox outfit. There you go. And, I had to bro it up for the Space Bro Show, so that's the way we did it tonight. I don't know how long the glasses will stay. For the simple fact, even though it might look perfectly douchey, it is also leaving me mostly blind at the moment. So, there we go. So we had, I don't know, it was pretty dry at the beginning of this week. I mean, there wasn't a lot of information out there that we had, but, I appreciated what they tried to do Wednesday, right? They tried to put some stuff out there. Monday, well, let's backtrack. Let's start at the beginning. So Monday, they had a special, 10 for the producers they did. They went back to that. But I don't feel like there was a lot of information for that specific little piece there. They kind of just went through their jobs. Again, a lot of the questions that were picked were related to jobs and stuff, and that's understandable to a certain point. I mean, I think right now, if anything, we're really hungry for more game design, more information about that. We've asked for death when stuff's coming out, but they just can't tell us that until all the bugs are fixed. But, yeah, it was, I love the two guys there, Derek and the other people. It's like, I'm not that interested in some of the information there, but they're great people. I know what they're trying to do into it. And, Wednesday, we had the special RTV, which was more focused on the art section of the whole deal. So there was some interesting information there. Nothing that was groundbreaking. Maybe some newer players obviously would find it a little bit more up to date of what's going on and what's happening with all that. But yeah, it wasn't terrible. It was okay. I found it entertaining, if nothing else. Is if not at least a little bit informative. Yeah. It's okay. Thursday, though, made up for the rest of the week to me. I mean, really, having some of the other information pop out there, a little bit about the flight mechanics and stuff and some of the changes coming forth, that's really going to be interesting. It's going to be one of the main aspects I look forward to in 2.0, seeing how the ships operate at different cruise speeds, different things like that, which we'll get into in the later part of the episode here. But yeah, I thought that was pretty good info. That was a big chunk there. There's a video played about that. If you haven't checked out the flight mechanic stuff, we will do a precursory overview over some of the changes that are forthcoming. But we're also probably going to mostly not go into super level detail because they did it very well in the video. I think the video on the RSI site on the main page there is about 16 minutes long. And they got a full write-up on it and everything. But it's pretty good. We'll get into that a little bit later. ATV... they had their Halloween edition. It was decent. Although we couldn't understand Ben for nothing on that thing, on the RTV thing on Friday. But on Thursday it was okay. It was okay. It wasn't terrible. It had some little bit of interesting stuff. But again, there's not a lot to be say. All hands are on deck for 2.0, trying to get the bugs worked out, trying to get everything done with that. So other than the flight module post, that was the main highlight for me. That was the biggest thing. Friday, though, has been an interesting day as far as some of the answers there. And we'll go through some of the information here as I de-douchify my glass appendages there. And see what's up with that. So today we're going to start out, we'll talk about all the updates we've heard this week. We'll talk about all the other things that happened with the flight module, some of the characteristics you'll see forthcoming. We have a couple cool videos, one by CIG, one by our friend Teller, that makes some great, takes some of the great models he's extracted from the game and just kind of shows us different aspects of ships, areas, player modules, all those type of aspects in the game. And then we'll lead right into, obviously, we have our $50 Star Citizen giveaway draw. So be watching for that. And there we go. So... you guys, how's your week been, everybody?
Good.
Yours been all right? Val, how you been doing this week?
Great. Been really busy, but it's a great week.
Yeah, it's a good week. I love Halloween. It's a good time. Very interesting week at work for me. Zealous, how you been, buddy?
Yeah, same old, same old.
Same old, same old. The ever exciting Zealous.
I'm not very excited.
There you go. All right, so let's kind of work backwards here. We had the weekly developmental update that came out today, and they've kind of rehashed that. I mean, they were calling it more for the FPS, and then now they've worked in the updates for the 2.0, and they've just kind of merged it all and like, hey guys, this is the where we're at weekly update now. This is how development's going on all aspects of the game that you're looking forward to in the near future. You know. So it had a lot of things. It showed some of the postings, and we saw some of this for those people who are subscribers and subscription supporters of Star Citizen. You might have seen this in the vault. They had a lot of images and stuff come out with actual gameplay images from 2.0 as far as the whole arena stuff. As far as the large map stuff goes, with derelict space stations, some ship action, showing a little bit of the Connie's rework and stuff that they were getting into, and just different aspects of that. So this is just the follow-up write-up that went along with a lot of that stuff. So, and I won't go through all the details of it, obviously, because a lot of you have already read this. But the story elements, they're actually putting in, working on some of the missions, and they're not going super technical on it. But they are getting a lot of the bugs and fixes in there to where they're saying it's relatively crash-free on most of the stuff. They're trying to work on different things as far as positioning recharge stations, which for those of you who don't know, that's like basically a resupply for your energy weapons and things of that nature, FPS-wise. They're also just trying to hammer down how they're positioning and doing the run-throughs on the mission ops when you go out to do the missions in the derelict space station, spaceships, those type of things. So a lot of interesting stuff kind of, coming together. They have claimed now that they are content complete for what they want to have in 2.0 for the initial release. So there's no additional content that they want to add for the initial release at this time. So I would like to go ahead and thank everybody who was on the Thirsty Thursday stream as we invoked the completion of 2.0 with our 2.0 spam. 2.0 spam that we had in channel. I think we really had a significant impact on the development of this game, and at least this build. So it's been really good. So of course I jest they did all the work, but it was still fun to think that hey, they come out the next day and say we're content complete. We're just working on bugs, guys. Seriously. Now that being said, the pessimist in me will always say, hey, they've been working just on bugs on Star Marine for about 4 or 5 months, but there's all that involved. I don't know. What do you guys think about these type of announcements saying they're content complete? And from what you've seen in the screens that we looked at the other day, as far as like the derelict spaceship, the Connies, all that stuff, and what we've seen in this update post. Give me your thoughts. Zealous, let's start with you. What do you think?
Well, you already know what I did the other night after seeing all that.
Well, yeah.
I got a constellation last night.
Yeah. Go ahead and talk about it a little bit. You got a constellation. You decided to. You were originally you were trying to resist. We won't say you're anti-constellation, but you were trying to resist the Connie up to that point.
Yep.
And I think that kind of pushed you over the edge.
It's like I saw the new Connie. It's like, yes, please.
Yeah, it looks good. I mean, I have to admit, I've always liked the Constellation. I didn't really ever focus on getting one for the simple fact that I think it's a generalist ship, and it's one of those ships I think naturally I'll get in-game and whatnot. But as far as, like, if I look at something cool like the Retaliator versus the Connie, the Retaliator's a cool ship, and I think it's super useful, but it doesn't give you that bridge type feel, like this is your bridge, and you have the comm, and, here's your people working the stations around you, because the Retaliator's really isolated. Your forward is a pilot, you have deck crew and people in turrets. It feels a lot more like what it's supposed to be, right? A large bomber, kind of like what an old flying fortress would be from World War II, where you're in the pilot seat up here, and then the guys are in the turrets and the belly guns and stuff, doing their jobs and roles. So I think it's a large difference in style But God, that Connie looked good on these images. Val, what do you think?
No, I'm really excited about the new flight changes that are coming.
Oh yeah, yeah. The flight stuff will be good. You know, they even had a little video here, and we'll watch part of this on the performance updates. And they do a little bit about, they call this the Star Citizen Alpha 2.0 Port Oscillator Dollar Tour. And the main thing they want to focus in on here is not only do they give you a cool little outside aspect of live gameplay in 2.0, just showing, I use the word gameplay loosely, to be honest, because it's just him floating outside the station, EVA style. But it does show you some of the new ragdoll effects to where instead of just flopping on the ground when you have, you know, actual gravity in 0G, it's kind of like a lot more of a jello human ballet, I guess, as you float off in the distance. And we'll play through this real quick so you guys can see this at home too. Very subtle music. I love it. It's soothing.
But yeah, the Connie being a gentlest ship that's why I went ahead and got it, because it was more expensive ship to have for an LTI rather than having an Adur for an LTI and having a bulk transport instead.
Yep, absolutely.
Because the Constellation is a closed transport or whatever, but it can still do what the Dirk can already, but longer range and more defended.
Mm-hmm.
Probably more expandable.
It's definitely a missile boat. It's a, you know, even though it uses size 1-2 missiles, but it's definitely a missile boat at its current form. Now we don't know that they'll change that or how that'll work. How many missiles did we say it holds?
I think it was like 42.
A lot.
42? Yeah, which is the answer to all things, as we well know. So, I mean, 42 missiles will answer a lot of small ships trying to kill you.
Well, the missiles on the Hornet are size 1, so...
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just checking out what size they are. Now, maybe how
48
many they are.
units inside.
There you go.
Yeah, it's like I knew it was like 40 something. Yeah, 20 size 2s and 28 size 1s.
So 48 missiles in total.
Yeah.
Yep.
The problem is those pylons will also have different uses too. So, like on the Kila, I know that 2 of those racks become sensor arrays.
Yeah. Yeah, obviously, as you refit and reform different things, you're going to get the whole aspects of different types of, you know, fittings, ammo allocations. You know, we haven't gotten into, like, power usage versus, like, you know, capabilities and stuff like we've seen in some of the smaller vessels in the Arena Commander 1.3. You know, sometimes when you shoot energy weapons, they'll just knock your engines out and everything. You can't go anywhere. It's, oh, I lost all power. That sucks. So...
It'd be really annoying. You just load a whole bunch of EMP missiles.
There you go. Just drain them out completely. Hopefully your capacitor will recharge in time. But no, there's a lot of neat stuff in here. And, you know, they talk about it. They have, and this is the other thing I'd like to point out. Even though they're only launching, and this is something they highlighted a lot this week, they're only launching 2.0 with the Retaliator and with the Constellation. They have made a complete notion continually that the Cutlass Black is flight ready. Right? And they've updated the Cutlass Black already to support the new damage tech and support multi-crew functionality. They released that today, so it's ready for multi-crew. So any of the aspects of that, they didn't have any blockers with it. They've got the damage VFX implemented on it. They have all the exterior and interior explosions ready to go on all 3 ships. So they're there. They're just trying to work out the bugs to give us something that we aren't just like immediately giving them a bug list of what they already have, much like what we dealt with in some of the other aspects like 1.3. They didn't want us to give us a social module and be like, oh yeah, here's all the bugs, and we're over there reporting all these things on the issue council and stuff they already know that they're already dealing with. They'd like to at least hammer some of these out That way we can go in and continually test for even more bugs. So it should be a good time. Should be fun. I'll just be happy to get out there with a crew of people and just kind of have a good time with it.
Get out there with my constellation.
Yeah. Unfortunately, one of the highlights that they have illustrated when 2.0 drops, and I believe I don't think it's a blocker. They're not looking at it as a blocker. I would almost consider it a blocker in my mind. But you're not necessarily going to be able to play with any of your friends. Because you can't join groups. You can't...
At first.
Yeah, and you can't invite people from your friends list to your instance. You're not going to be able to do any of that when it drops. And it's multi-crew. But whoever heard of multi-crew with people you don't know what's going on? I mean, I don't know. I guess it's fine. I mean, you can play multiplayer free-for-all type stuff inside Arena Commander or anything else. But the whole point of multi-crew, I would think, they'd have to be people that you'd want to be cool with. And even if it's not, let's say you joined Star Citizen the other day and you have no friends. You have nobody you've met in here. You'd like to hook up and get to meet people. They need some sort of either lounge or some sort of communication thing to where you could preparatory do that. And I guess in this instance, it's just going to be general chat, right? You're going to go into instance. You're going to hopefully meet some people that you can crew up with and go out and do some multi-crew. But
this is going to be like trusting somebody in GTA 5 on the street.
Well, the difference is that between this and that, without the persistence in it, which they're not adding the persistence, even if you have the ship, oh well, it blows up, oh well, and I get that, but it gets annoying, and it makes it not really fun or playable for people, because if I want to go in there and be a dick, oh boy, can I be a dick. I mean, because there's no repercussion for it, and there's nothing deterring them from doing it, and you gain so little from actually playing it other than the glory of, for us hardcores, where we're like, hey, we just want to learn it. We want to feel it. We want to touch it, taste it, do whatever we can. From somebody who has a moderate to mild interest in Star Citizen, it could be really discouraging. But at that same time, whatever. Just get in there and check it out, guys. I think it's going to be fun. So we'll hit the blocking issues here they got here. And it's not a lot, to be honest. It's not a big list. I was really surprised. Considering this is an encapsulated blocking list for both Star Marine and the 2.0 release of Star Citizen for the alpha, it's only 8-9 items. That's not a lot.
Yeah.
Well, that's not a lot. But let's go through them here. So we got frame rate is really sluggish at times. Hello, it's Star Citizen. Frame rate is generally really sluggish at times anyway, but they're working on this. So we have a few crashes which currently block comms array in gameplay. Well, that could be a problem. I don't want the comms array to work. Unable to spawn multi-crew ships in release mode. I don't know what release mode is, but not being able to spawn multi-crew ships in a multi-crew shipping aspect of the game could be an issue. Just saying. It might be a little bit of an issue there. EVA needs more responsive and much less buggy. Player can spin out of control and also suffer latency issues. Hopefully they'll be fixed in the next build with some recent animation code fixes. Cool. Walking onto a ship can cause it to have no flight functionality, but works fine if you debug spawn straight in the cockpit. Probably related to the recent IFCS code change, which is the in-flight combat system, for those of you who don't know what that IFCS means. Server crashes when AI units fire weapons. This blocks other testing, of course. That could be bad. It's like, oh no, they're shooting at me. Oh, the whole thing crashed. Never mind. A lot of calculations going there. So, pistol ADS animations are blocked until we finalize stock rifle ADS system. Well, that's kind of a problem too. Character sprint animations need review once the weapon lowered pros is finalized. This is a potential blocker. We'll finalize the goddamn pose, guys. Just say, hey, that looks good enough for me. I don't think any of us will hate you if you pick the pose where maybe when the weapon's down, it's like this, or like this. I think we'll get over that. I don't know. It'll be okay. Anyway, EVA needs to support personal weapon usage. This will require code support as well as adjustments to the base poses. Yeah, you probably need to shoot guns in EVA.
Or space taser.
Space tasers. Ding, 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 ding. I don't know. That didn't sound like a lot of blockers. Val, what do you think? I mean, yeah, there's some potential stuff there, but...
Yeah, I think they're going to be able... I think they can get everything done for the anniversary sale, really.
I wouldn't be surprised. I'm not going to put money on it, but I wouldn't be surprised. I will say that.
Because think about it. When they release this information, this is probably a week old.
It
so
is
they
a
probably
week
already
old.
fixed half of those.
Probably so. I wouldn't be surprised by that at all. I mean, they're obviously going to, they've talked about, and this is art-wise, because art's always been a big blocker with, like, some of the assets they need for things, because a lot of it's back in code, but a huge majority of it is the way the art looks and stuff, because since we're in a high-fidelity game, it's got to have that polished look to it, even at this stage. So they're talking about, they have all the airlock pressurization, depressurization effects done. That's awesome. We have... What else we got there? Thanks for the host, by the way, Tokyo. We have the Derek Space Station ambience there.
Yeah,
that's all
thanks
done.
for the harvest.
Yeah, exactly. Val the Viking says thank you. Giant asteroid field ambience. Yeah. I mean, so they have a lot of the overall area effects done. Thruster effects, ship damage effects. I mean, they got all that stuff. All the interior, exterior effects like we talked about before. UI-wise, they have polished all the multiplayer screens, mission manager, quantum travel, screens for Crusader, gotta be careful how I say that, rectical polish. We don't have general rectal polish because that could be a big problem. We have multi-crew screen polish. We had first pass, simplified menu, so players don't have to load in the hangar every time they start a game or finish a match. Based implementation, rectical for EVA HUD, and some bug fixing. Already done. So yeah, restart stations at the satellites, feedback for EasyHab pod is locked to you, restored rotating rings so the rings are all rotating fine. Finalized research station, satellite method of mission giving, markup for all asteroids, adding the new and more automated method, moving EVA to an improved physical control module, implemented ragdoll animation whilst in EVA, improved ragdoll animation, see the video, which we just watched, first pass implementation of breaking apart Retaliator on destruction. Yeah, they're doing the whole, just like they showed the Connie. I don't know if you guys remember back to that video. We probably have an archive somewhere of the ship explosions. But they're talking about, they basically did that whole pass with the Retaliator now. So it's ready to get that cool hyper effect, breaking the
Where it can
multiple
be blown
pieces
up.
of stuff. Not just the interior aspect of what we've seen, but the full deal. So
Like seeing a bunch of thrusters just being blown off.
similar to what we saw the Constellation destruction, except on a Retaliator, basically.
The volumetric explosions that take an entire day to render out.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
Even
like,
for,
watch this. Let's go have coffee. It's still blowing up. So yeah. So yeah, there's some good stuff in there. There's some really good stuff in there. So we went from that. Well, a precursory, a lot of the stuff they also validated earlier today at Reverse the Verse that I'd like to point out. They talked about again, they restated here that lots of work on 2.0 has been done this last week. They are currently content complete. This is from Ben himself. They're just bug fixing and polishing now. So they are in a state of preemptive release, I will go ahead and say. But how preemptive it is up in the air. So we will see. I'm hoping it's a matter of 1 or 2 weeks. I really am. But we'll see. I'll just leave that at that. What do you guys think? You think, based on what you've read this week and what you've seen over that, what's your prediction on how far we are from 2.0? At least in the PTU.
They said sooner than soon TM, so it's probably going to be the anniversary sale, so they can sell it with like a Connie or some of the multi-crew ships like at a better discount, so more people get into the game with a better ship.
I can see that, Bacon. I can see it being a great thing, and I think that would be an internal goal for them to try to get 2.0 out before the anniversary sale, because not only for the existing pilots, you're going to have other people come into the game like, holy crap, this is really cool. Well, when are you going to be able to buy a Retaliator or a Connie again? Anniversary sale, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can buy those. You'll be able to buy an array of other ships, and it'll get the hype excited. So while I'm not prepared to say that is going to happen for sure, I think that's a major internal goal. They'd like to see it drop before then. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I could definitely see them trying to drop it before they do the Crucible. Now, where they'll drop the Crucible at during the anniversary sale, preemptive of the anniversary sale, or after the anniversary sale, I don't know. But I think the Crucible's their ace in the pocket to try to hit that 100 million before we hit end of the year. So
I think that
timing on that's going to be impeccable, based on what happens.
I think there's two things they can do.
What's that, Val?
They gotta release something awesome for the anniversary sale.
Yeah.
And then they got Christmas again. They gotta do like a Black Friday sale, like all the ships on sale Black Friday, or they're gonna do something for Christmas.
Like the slight holiday sale.
The anniversary sale is the Christmas sale.
Usually, traditionally that's absolutely correct. That's what they've been doing. Is, hey, here's the anniversary sale. There you go. You know, it's like everybody's spending their preemptive Christmas money there
For
that.
For Christmas, they're probably going to gift us something like normal.
Yeah.
We're going to get some sort of freebie or something like that. Like, we got, I think, 3 things or something like that last year for Christmas.
I heard about it. I don't remember what they were, though, because I know one. I know one was like a wrench, like a pneumatic wrench, a reef, and something. I think a ship model. Mm-hmm.
I remember the wreath. It was like in the older hangars before the update, and then the better lighting.
Yeah, 2.0 hangars before we had 3.0 hangar.
Marketing wise, though, if you look at marketing in their past history, they got to have 3 more awesome things happen before the end of the year to be able to hit the 100 million. Yep. So either it'll be like a ship here or there, or 2.0.
I see the Crucible coming out within next 2 weeks.
Because they got to keep hyped up.
Because they said it was basically done, concepting. Yeah. And the Prowler is, I think the Prowler was next.
Yeah, they haven't started on the Prowler, but that is next in queue, from what I understand, to work on for all the different aspects for the concept. Yeah, to get that going. Basically, you know, from there, they also mentioned some other things. People asked about the bug with the SLI issues. So those people running SLI, they've been having some drama off and on with the game, and they said the next patch should help remedy a lot of that. And I'd like to highlight this little section here. Even though as much as I bitch about the lighting, they said Emery's new lighting doesn't work. It doesn't look great in the hangar. It doesn't work. There's a known issue right now where CryEngine has default time of day setting for the levels, and it's showing the wrong one for the hangars right now. Once that's fixed, the hangars will look better. So as much as they focused on the lighting, now they're spending resources on fixing the lighting that's supposed to look amazing. F the lighting. That's all I gotta say. I'm so anti-lighting, and the hangar should just be lit hangar. I don't care about this sort of lighting crap.
Yeah, I don't care too much about the lighting.
Lighting in the hangar. I mean, outside? Oh, sure, lighting's great, guys. It looks wonderful.
They should have simplified it and gave you an option to adjust it on the...
No doubt, right? I mean, if I'm in my hangar, let's go to reality. If I have some nice cars, and I want to look at my garage, am I going to try to go lighting effect in my garage? Probably not. I'm probably going to go, hey, I want it lit well so I can see if there's any damage, need to work on my cars, do anything like that, much like I would with my spaceships. The whole effects thing and wasting the updated lighting, I think, was whatever. But if that's what people want, more power to you. I think it's a complete waste of time. All right, so bug fixing patch between now and 2.0. They said that's really up to production, but they really don't have really focused on 2.0 more than trying to fix bugs right now because we'll be going to a complete new build in 2.0. 0D ragdoll stuff's epic. That should be good, which we looked at, which I think it is. They talked about, this is one of the things, and I don't know if you guys caught this at RTV today. They talked about what would happen and if you can land on a planet in 2.0. Because there are planets around, right? They want to know if you can land on them. They said pretty much here's what happens when you go to a planet. If let's say, where's it at? Apparently, there it is. If you try to land on a planet, first you get a message saying that you're entering the gravitational field. And if you continue for a while, you'll eventually die. And that's right now the current effect of like if you go near a planet. But they said it's like something like you get a warning to where you're literally almost an hour away from dying, like 45 minutes or something stupid, because it's like so far off. You'll get a warning well in advance of like, it won't be like, warning, you're dead. It's like, warning. And then if you continue on that path for a while, you'll probably die. So. Yep. And they said, obviously, the concept phase of the Crucible's locked down. They're working on it. They need to show people when it goes up for sale. So they're trying to get those assets done. Ben and Sandy came up with a list of things, concept image, showing it work with a capital ship, show it picking up a smaller ship, blueprints, and, what is included on the design post for repair. So you should see it Crucible very soon, and that's what everybody keeps reiterating.
It would actually probably get them more money if they do a sale before the anniversary sale and then the anniversary sale. Because then people would buy it originally, and then it would be available to them in the anniversary sale.
Well, it's all about spacing, too. I think spacing is critical. I mean, they might not care. They might just throw it when they want to. But I think if you space it right, and you sell the Crucible, and then you give everybody a few weeks before the anniversary sale, you're much more likely to get a lot more money. Or you do it the other way. You have the anniversary sale, and then immediately after that, you do the Crucible, and then you're more likely to get more money then, too. So.
I think they would, if they do release it, they would do it like at least a week before the sale.
I would hope so. But who knows?
Because then they would have two opportunities to sell it to get them a lot closer to $1 million or there.
Or if they do put it out in the sale, they're probably going to leave it up a lot longer than normal.
Yeah.
Because then in between the two sales, more things could go about repairing other than the things they post. Like yeah.
Yeah. So then another thing which I've become more interested recently with, buying all these gift cards and doing all these other things is the concierge, because I am very close to hitting concierge level. They said the concierge stuff, because they asked for an update on it, they said there'll be a update next week possibly. They're going to start selling a special concierge card. They'll have those available for sale for a few weeks so everyone has a chance to order one. And then they're going to start talking about concierge flair starting for 2016. Which I have no idea what that is. But hopefully it's like some really cool flair you could get. So if you spent that kind of money on the game, there you go. All the unmelt requests are still on hold. Mouse pads, don't care. Freelancer concept is said, you won't see it until it's approved. Still not approved yet. One of the interesting things that it did bring up, though, was something about the how all the different aspects of the Connie would work with the docking ring that you use with the Merlin, and whether that would be interchangeable out with the turret. And this is something they've talked about for a long time, because people said, "Oh, can you swap that out for a turret?" The problem they have is one of the things they want to avoid is the interchangeability of the turret system. Is then they'd say, well, why can't you dock like another Merlin up here on this turn, and switch out to docking, or how about this one? And that way you'd have 3 or 4 Connies, or 3 or 4 Merlins latched onto a Connie and go around, and they don't want to deal with all that. So they're thinking about just making it the way it is, and you can't interchange it, or they may or may not do the actual, turret interface to replace that docking ring.
I think you have the option of taking it off, though.
Yeah,
But there's a whole structural amount there. But the other turret points aren't as structurally sound for
Yeah.
Merlin. So you should be able to put a turret there, just not anywhere
I
else.
think they're too
'cause
worried
structure.
about like people trying to troll about stuff. But I wouldn't be if I were them. I mean, all you gotta do is say, hey, the ship can do this and it can't do that, and here's the ship, and that's it. That's what they've done with every other ship. So I wouldn't be too worried about it. I don't. I encourage them if they want to offer some adjustments and stuff, then do so. Don't paint yourself in the corner and say, well, no, we got to do it for all this other crap. I wouldn't worry about that. I really don't think it's that important. They talked about the next profession update, and the next profession update will be an overview on repair and the repair mechanics and how that profession works. That should come out around the same time as the Crucible, according to them, just for the simple fact that that's when they'll be talking about the repair aspects, how those work, and so the profession just makes sense to be discussed and released around the same time. Yeah, they said obviously people were asking about things like mining and all this sort of stuff, and none of that's going to be in the initial release. The 2.0 is only going to have the aspects of coming in, hopefully eventually getting with your friends, getting a spaceship, going around doing some missions. There won't be persistence in it. You won't be able to necessarily invite all your friends. Hopefully you'll be able to Q-sync and figure something out until they get like the actual listing systems and all that stuff available in the game. So all that was interesting. They also talked about the money aspect in 2.0. Will you have money? Will you have currency of any aspect? And they said probably not initially. They're going to deal with it. But then they also kind of backtracked and talked about the fact that more than likely they're going to do it with rec as far as that, and maybe just model things with rec for now, which I'm okay with, because I really don't have anything to spend my rec on anyway at this moment, because I don't play enough Marine Commander for it to even matter. But at the same time, I'm like, I really would like to see the new systems put in place and kind of go from there. But whatever they decide to do, as long as it helps get 2.0 out, let's do it. I'm good with it. They're also going to be advancing the repair mechanics in 2.0. Initially, it's going to drop. It's like what we saw in the video. You land somewhere, drones come out, repair it all. In the future, you'll actually have to get out of your ship, and you will have to do specific repairs on different systems and stuff like that, instead of just blanket, like, hey, I drove through the repair wash and had magical drones like repair it all there, because that's kind of what it is in the beginning. But I can accept that. If it gets us in the game working through the flight mechanic bugs and the EVA stuff and helps us get into more of a gameplay aspect, and let's be honest, it'll draw more people here to seeing that type of shit on YouTube and on Twitch and all that stuff. I think it's going to be great. I'm okay with that. Go ahead and give me the magical drones of yore, which repair instantly the outsides of my vessel. I'll live with it for now. Shouldn't always be that way, but it's okay now. It reminds me kind of like the Eve repair model, where you have logistical ships and you just kind of like repair drones, and using that whole thing. But yeah, I think all that's gonna be good. It's gonna be fun. So, yeah, what else were we gonna talk about here? Oh, we were gonna go into. Do we want to go into flight modes in the model now? Who wants to talk about that? You want to talk about that, Zelst, a little bit? About the different flight modes?
I think that's like the only major thing left to talk about.
I think so, really. Let's go through that real quick. We'll do a little overview. You want to go through them all?
Yep.
All right, go ahead. Tell us about the different flight modes, Mr. Zelst.
I'm trying to remember the name. Precision
mode.
Precision mode, it is your, it's basically what it says. It's precision in flight. It throttles your thruster power to precisely move your ship for sensitive operations such as landing and mining. Now you have two different types of boosts, which you can select manually. One will increase maneuverability, the other one will increase maximum velocity of your ship. And
those are only available in SCM mode, right? The boost.
CM,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, they're only
Yeah,
available in
because
SCM.
if you do that in quantum speed, well, not quantum, yeah, not quantum or cruise speed, you would probably like black the out immediately and probably die.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I think any course correction that moving at that type of velocity would turn your brain into an instant like Jello salad, pretty much. But yeah, the SCM mode, and again, just like he's saying, the SCM mode is more what we're used to in Arena Commander. That is the space combat mode, so to speak. So you're actually in that maneuverability of what you experience in Dying Star or Broken Moon currently in Arena Commander 1.3.
It sacrifices speed for maneuverability.
Yes.
Cruise is basically your kind of like sprint, where you can still churn and stuff, but you're not going to be churning very much at all.
Yeah.
Because if you do, and once again you're going to black out, it's pretty stiff control. Probably is going to so no drifting or anything like that. Drifting would be very, very bad. You would lose control.
Yeah.
The quantum leap is your run, basically, where you're not going to an entirely different system, but you're not going to be able to turn directions at all. It's just a straight line. Whatever they're going to choose what the speed's going to be, because I'm pretty sure it's not going to be 0.2c.
Yeah.
Because that sounds stupid.
Yeah, pretty much. And the rest of the article goes into motion control. And one of the things I'd like to point out in here is they talk about the exponentially damped motion. And more specifically, they even talk about the third motion order on how things would flow well and kind of give you some variant. And, like the boost and the jerk type thing when you hit the acceleration of your velocity of your ship and things of that nature. And the best thing was that I thought was the thruster error and turbulence, which even, if you fly right now, if you've flown in Star Citizen, you know that when you're moving through space or when you're actually getting the things going, it feels very mechanical. Like you can kind of counter predict exactly how your ship will fly, how it'll slide, how it'll do all this stuff. And there's no room for deviation in it unless you just make pilot error. Now what they want to do to kind of get it off the rails, so to speak, or make it feel less like a mechanical endeavor, more like a World War II fight, they want to actually get in there and implement some, we'll say some just new characteristics or new variances in the whole system to where it kind of errors out. You might make a right turn and maybe the environment will kind of do a dice roll and say maybe you get a little bit of turbulence, or maybe it doesn't quite go as fast as you remember, or maybe you slide a little bit more in this area than you would normally. So that way everything's not perfect. And in the end, I think it'll make racing a lot more interesting if that's possible, because I'm just not that interested in racing. But, they'll make different aspects and make it a little bit more competitive and won't make people feel so much like they're on rails just doing what they're doing. They'll have to dig in. So I'm excited about the flight module. I think it's going to be cool. What do you think, Bacon, about the flight module stuff? What do you think about the changes?
That it will be amazing, but I think it should be accessible, like in the like, let's say in the Retaliator, should like be accessible easily in the engineering section, because it's controlling how the engines function. So, but if like the pilot wanted to do that, he would probably have to go through a few steps, like in the cockpit, to do it, instead of just having
you
an
mean
engineer.
As far as affecting the engines and variances and stuff? That would be an interesting aspect. If you could impact the amount of error and variance you get by having somebody tune your engines, that could be interesting.
So you can't just, like, when you're in the middle of combat and you want to get away, you can't just switch to cruise and get out.
Yeah.
So you'd have to, like, if you were the pilot, like a solo pilot, you would have to, like, take a few steps, and it would be obvious that your engines were changing to the other person.
Gotcha. Like some sort of spool up or something like that when you're trying to go into
Yeah.
a different flight mode. That makes sense. I can see that. They'll probably have some sort of cooldown timer from combat to like simulate how long it takes you to like get in and out of combat based on, you know, your actions and things like that. I could see that happening. So, Val, what do you like or dislike about the new flight mode changes and stuff?
No, I love the new acceleration they have
Yeah.
that they're gonna do. So you accelerate and you keep going, so you can save fuel.
Yep.
But imagine being an arena commander and how small that is, and how small the ship looks
Yeah.
in that small little sandbox. Now
You couldn't
imagine
use any
being-
of those, right?
I know you can't use them now, but imagine in 2.0,
Yeah.
you won't even be able to see ships. They'll be way out there, and
Yeah.
unless you scan them, they'll just be coming at you at 1,000 feet per second or something.
Warning, ship collision in 3, 2. Yep.
Because you could have your whole team or another ship say, okay, accelerate to max thrust and let's take a break, come back in 10 minutes, and you're across the galaxy on top of someone.
Yeah.
That's the exciting part, because it's going to take some thought of what you're doing.
Especially when you're coming in and out of areas like jump points and whatnot between systems later on, because you don't know what you're going to see at these areas where you congregate. You could come to a repair station, and there could be like 5 pirates there. You know, and you come out of the war, it's like, oh wow, it's like you just don't know. So it's going to make it really interesting as far as travel goes.
And you could be hiding on the edge outside a scan range, and then all of a sudden drop down on people.
Yep. Which we don't know about, you know, all the systems available with scanning in 2.0 and all that, like how that's going to work. I mean, obviously in a ship these sizes, you would think you're going to have some sort of, you know, radar or navigational person kind of handling that role, but you just don't know for sure all the mechanics behind it quite yet.
No, but just with the flight modes, just leaves the imagination open of how advanced it'll be.
Yeah,
The
absolutely.
the quantum leap will automatically disengage once a foreign mass is blocking its path.
Yeah, but let's say, for example, if it's not, say you plot your course, you enter your flight mode, and you're going cruise or quantum travel, well, maybe something's not anything in your path when you initiate. But if you're traveling a long distance, something could obviously get in your path during, you know?
Yeah, well, if something shows up in front of you, yeah, it's going to block it.
Well, and does it disengage immediately? Does it detect it? How's that work? Or do you just explode all of a sudden randomly? I mean, that's going to be interesting to see if it detects it consistently or how that works in the system. So
I'm pretty sure it's going to detect it instantly.
I would hope so, but that you could also hugely troll somebody trying to come at you. Every time they quantum spool up, I just spread a bunch of ships around the area, and
just-
hopefully I'll blockade it.
It's like a group of pirates trying to jump you, and you just drive in
Yep.
front of them.
Well, and then where does it drop you out at? Does it drop you out right in front of the object that's blocking you? Does it drop you out wherever you are in warp if something appears while you're in, you know, quantum travel there? I mean, how does that work? We don't know.
Yep.
So, all good questions, all good stuff. There was a couple, you know, and that's really all there was about the flight module overall. I mean, they went over it, and, you know, they had some great information, but really, tried and true, I'm not going to know if I love it or hate it till I fly it. I think I'm going to like it, but I don't know for sure. You know, let's do some little highlights of some stuff some players put out there. They talk about the modules diagram here, how the releases are working and stuff. For those of you who would like a visual aid, it is available on Imager. We'll throw the link in there for you on the YouTube and all that stuff. It kind of gives you the whole simulated persistent universe, baby PU stuff versus the actual simulated social module there. Then they talk about the future official release of the Star System and how that's going to encapsulate with all the other aspects. It's a neat diagram. It's cool. It's worth peeping out if you just need a visual aid when you're trying to explain to one of your buddies how the game works, what's going on with it, all that stuff. So that's pretty neat. Oh, you found the ship explosions video. I see.
Let's just ship explosions.
Yep, ship explosions. We can go through this again so I can sit here and drool on myself a little bit. what they're saying now that's obviously just a base explosion where it's taken enough damage over time to where it's just, kind of cracked and remedied it like a useless hole right on the Connie there. Now, coming up, they'll have the break-apart explosion where it actually divides from a
So what Sean did
cataclysmic area.
here is he pre-visualized the progression.
And we're not going to go into all the audio of it for those who want to see it. It's available also on the Star Citizen 24.com site. You can still find it there as well. But you can see like how he ripples and heat shield affects that thing. It's amazing. It gets the full explosion matrix off. I think there's... I want to see the one where I saw something like break apart. It starts to divide, because there's one where it really breaks apart. They're talking about if
That's
you get...
gonna be 2.0 right there. The whole game.
Yeah. Just bam, explosion. Bam, explosion.
That's
Bam,
gonna be the
another
game
explosion.
for the first week.
Absolutely.
People just
Absolutely.
blowing their ships up in third person trying to see it explode.
Yeah, see different aspects. There's one where you see a lot of break apart aspects on the ship itself. Now, this is what they're talking about. They've completed on the Retaliator model as well now.
The thing broke.
What broke?
The Skype thing.
Oh,
There's 2 valves.
it's two
And
valves.
too big. It switches
Yeah,
in between who's talking.
I don't see two valves. Where's...
Okay, now it's bacon. Like behind. Okay, now it's gone.
I just shook it. Just grabbed it and shook the shit out of it and told him to sit down, and it worked.
They're shooting the Connie right now with the
Yeah.
God cannon.
Yeah, so they've completed all these explosion stuff, and there's the interior explosion they're getting ready to show now, and which happens to be inside a Retaliator. Anyway, but they have confirmed that they have all this stuff done as far as that, so we should see some of this in the hopefully in the 2.0 we'll be able to see this type of aspect and the pretty lights and all the good stuff. But yeah, I mean, and they look, there's what the hangar module's supposed to look like, and I still don't care for lighting. But yeah, so we've had all that there, and then here's a little nerve while we're doing videos. This is an asset where Teller just released today, and he said he's put it up, and it's the Terra Tower and Atrium. So let's look at this real quick.
The tower looks like it's in the Matrix.
It's in the Matrix box. That is a big freaking tower, by the way.
Is it like a center for the UEE on Terra? Or what is the Terra Tower for?
It's something like that. I would think it'd be some sort of special building for the Terra stuff. I can't remember from the lore what it is, but to me, I don't know. I think it's kind of cool, but it's not blow your socks off. Now, if you look at it, back up here a little bit, you can see the relative size to the Connie, but you can see right here, there's a reclaimer.
And a whole ERC that was on its side.
Yep. To show the height and distance of this thing. It's massive structure. How much of it you can actually go in, or how it's relevant to the game, I have no idea. I really don't.
I mean,
But
I think it was a whole day.
Placeholder. Oh, this is where the speech is, right? No.
no, this is
No,
a
this is
statue.
Oh. Oh, yeah. Maybe it's like the center. Never mind. Never.
This is like the Empire State Building, but much bigger.
Much bigger.
It's quite large.
Yeah, this probably like
Well-
displays the like prices on like materials and stuff. This might be like a center of trade or something.
I can see that. It is pretty massive, though.
Admins can't really like blockade a planet. It would have to be the Vanduul because the admins control the Vanduul, or the CIG, not admins.
No, it's called GMs. And they will have some control.
Yeah, like some like if someone's like stopping a whole thing of trade, there's gonna be, if it's possible, Vanduul attacking that area.
Pretty cool asset, though.
Yeah, really cool.
Pretty neat. All right, so we've seen those assets. We've seen that type of stuff in there, and you know, I'm not sure the relevance of the Terra Tower. I think it is a neat asset in there. I don't know if you'll be able to play through it all. It didn't look like it was entirely complete or sectioned. It looked like it had the model plus maybe the main floor of the atrium. I don't know. I don't know how relevant it is to everything else for sure. So it's pretty cool though. We'll see. We will see. All right, guys. Well, I think we've done pretty good tonight so far. Let's see. We want to make sure that everybody. We finally wrapped up the $50 Star Citizen gift card giveaway entries. They're all concluded. You can't enter this contest anymore. We are going to draw it here in just a minute. I'd like to thank everybody who participated. We had some really good turnouts for it. Everybody, steady flowed supported. I really do appreciate it for everybody. Thank you again, even though he's not here tonight, to Kato, a.k.a. CT Fred, for sponsoring the Space Bro Show and Star Citizen 24 with the $50 gift card prize for this giveaway. I'd like to send a great shout to him. He couldn't be with us tonight. He had business outside of town, so he had to go deal with some other stuff. But needless to say, the winner of the said gift card will be receiving it once we receive the response within 48 hours of the announcement of the name from Fred, and we will get the information for that winner over there and make it happen. So, all right, let's dive into this real quick then. All right, we had a total of 6,414 entries into this great giveaway here. So again, thank you so much to everybody who actually jumped in it to win it. You guys are awesome. I'm not saying anything else.
awesome.
You're just so awesome. You're cool bros, bro. Make sure, even after we're done with the gift card, guys, we will wrap up the show. But we will have the Space Bro after show immediately after the show to hang out, play some games, talk shop, talk Star Citizen. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, or just want to chat back and forth, that is the time when we will be doing it with you. And I think we're going to give away a piece of Hanger Flare tonight, too, because I feel like it. So if you guys want to jump in some raffles, maybe get a chance at some Hanger Flare, ask us about Star Citizen, earn some Brobucks for next week's raffles, feel free to hang out with us, because we'll be doing it to it. All right, without further ado, let's go ahead and get in this thing. And I am ready to draw the winner. Let's see here. We get a drum roll, please. Bacon. And the winner is Maximus. Maximus is the winner. Got his email here. He's from France, so he may or may not be on. But Maximus.
Well, he has 48 hours to check his email and be like, oh, yay.
Yep. Specifically, yeah, it was entry number of 878 was the one that was drawn in that one. So that's really good. So yeah, he'll have 48 hours. The email's gone out. He will be able to respond to us and receive this prize. So again, congratulations to Maximus. Maximus, you are the victor. So awesome sauce, guys. That's great. So we will make sure he has all his notifications, all that stuff went out. And he will get his prize for that. Stay tuned because we will be announcing here at the beginning of the week our next raffle for the month of November, along with maybe a couple of twists and surprises. We are working on some stuff for December, which may start late November as well. We don't know when we're going to start that giveaway because we don't want to run too deep into Christmas because I know a lot of you are on holiday and doing other things family-wise, so we want to make sure that we have good activity for that. So, you know, with that, I don't know. We had a pretty good show tonight. I think it was pretty good. Hopefully everybody had fun. Thank you, Zealous Fox, for hanging out. Val the Viking, thank you for being here. There we go. And the ever elusive and master disguise Bacon Waffle.
Bacon. I want
Deliciousness.
Yeah. The quest for everybody. So everybody out there, we'll see you here in a few minutes if you're hanging out for the after show. Otherwise, if you just tune in for the Space Bros show, stay classy, and we'll see you on the next Space Bros show, bro. Peace out. Space Bros. That's how we do it. I'll see you gentlemen on TeamSpeak.
Sound microphone muted.